All right, today we are diving into something pretty fascinating in the world of wellness, a peptide called Sermorelin. We're going to break down what it is, how it actually works, and why it's less about some sci-fi anti-aging and way more about, well, rebuilding what time tries to take away. So yeah, let's get right into it.
But first, let me ask you something. Do you ever just feel like age is catching up? You know, you're a little slower to get going, it's a little harder to bounce back from things. It's a feeling a lot of us know, and today we're going to explore one of the big reasons why that happens.
And that brings us right here to our first section, what aging takes away. We're not going to just talk about the symptoms, we're going to get straight to the real reason, the root cause behind some of that decline.
Okay, let's see if any of this sounds familiar. Slower recovery after workout. A bit more fat, especially right where we don't want it. Skin that just doesn't feel as firm as it used to. Or maybe it's just a general dip in your motivation and energy. Look, if you're nodding along to any of this, you are definitely not alone, and believe it or not, all these things are often connected.
So what's the number that connects all of this? It's about 15%. That is roughly how much your body's own natural growth hormone, or GH, production drops every single decade after you hit 30. And that is not a small dip, folks. It's a significant, steady decline that's a key driver behind so many of the signs we just talked about.
And here's what that looks like. This chart just puts it right in front of you. You can see that steady, downward march of our GH levels as we go from our 30s into our 40s and then our 50s and beyond. This is the physiological reality that a lot of modern wellness strategies are trying to figure out how to address.
So what do we do about it? Well, that brings us to our next section, rebuilding from within. And the key idea here, the really important part, isn't about adding something foreign to your system. It's about reactivating your body's own natural potential. So what in the world is Sermorelin? It's what's called a GHRH analog. Now, to put that simply, it basically mimics the natural signal your brain uses to tell your pituitary gland, hey, make some growth hormone. Think of it like turning up the volume on a message that's just gotten quieter and quieter over the years. It doesn't replace the hormone, it just reminds your body how to make its own again.
And this is where it gets really cool. You can see this powerful cascade effect. It all starts by restoring those natural, nighttime pulses of growth hormone. That, in turn, leads to deeper, more restorative sleep, which, is when our body does pretty much all of its repair work. Then, that improved sleep and better GH level helps improve body composition, burning fat while keeping muscle. And finally, that whole repair process supports healthier skin, healthier joints. You see, each step just naturally builds on the one before it.
Which, of course, leads us to the big question. What does all of this actually feel like in the real world? This section is all about the payoff, the tangible, noticeable results you get from restoring your body's natural systems. This side-by-side just makes it crystal clear. On the left, you've got those signs of decline we started with, and on the right, the rebuild. Slower recovery becomes faster recovery. That frustrating fat storage is countered by reduced fat. Thinning skin is replaced with healthier, thicker skin. It's literally a direct reversal of that downward trend we saw.
And this is what people say it feels like day to day. It's like a whole system upgrade, more energy, sharper thinking, bouncing back way quicker from a tough day or a hard workout. It's about seeing those positive changes in the mirror, sure, but also just feeling like your biological clock is finally starting to trend in the right direction for once.
Okay, this is such a critical distinction. The energy people feel, it's not like the jolt you get from a big cup of coffee. It is not a temporary, artificial boost. It's the natural result of your body's fundamental systems just working more efficiently. That's restored physiology. And that is a much, much more sustainable foundation for long-term health.
So finally, let's look at why this is really considered a smarter way to go about it, and why it's become such a favorite in so many top longevity clinics.
This table really sums up the smarter approach perfectly. First, the action. It works with your body, not around it. This is huge, and it leads to a very high degree of safety with a super low side effect profile. And this is crucial. For regulation, your body's natural feedback loops, its own safety checks, they stay intact. This is the key difference from something like direct HGH therapy, which can kind of bypass those checks. With Sermorelin, your body stays in control, so it doesn't overshoot the mark. The whole goal isn't some quick fix, it's sustainable, long-term wellness. And listen, if there's one simple line to take away from this entire explanator, it's this one right here. It brings back what aging tries to steal without overshooting. That just perfectly captures the balance of Sermorelin. It's effective restoration, but it always respects the body's natural wisdom and its own safety mechanisms.
So we'll end with a new question. The signs of aging can feel so inevitable, right? But what if they aren't? What if, by working with your body's own amazing systems, your biological age could actually start to trend younger? It's a pretty powerful thought, and if it's something you're interested in exploring, we really encourage you to do your own research and, of course, talk with a qualified healthcare provider. Thanks for joining me today.